Welcome back, everyone. Today we're taking a deep dive into the ever-evolving world of health and wellness, where ancient wisdom meets cutting-edge tech.
It's a fascinating landscape, constantly shifting and full of exciting new discoveries.
Absolutely. It feels like we're on the cusp of a health revolution, and I'm eager to unpack all the emerging trends with you.
Me too. There's so much to explore, from the rise of alternative medicine to the growing conversation around mental health.
Speaking of alternative medicine, it seems like more and more people are seeking holistic approaches, moving beyond just masking symptoms.
You're right. Conventional medicine has done wonders for treating illnesses, but it often focuses on immediate relief rather than addressing the root causes.
So it's like treating the whole person, not just the disease.
Exactly. Think of it as a spectrum. Conventional medicine shines in acute care, but alternative approaches like functional medicine dive deeper into the why behind the symptoms.
Instead of putting a Band-Aid on a problem, functional medicine aims to figure out what's causing it in the first place.
That's the idea. And then there's integrative medicine, which bridges the gap between conventional and alternative approaches.
Combining the best of both worlds.
Yes, integrating practices like yoga or acupuncture with traditional treatments.
Acknowledging that the mind and body are connected, and healing needs to address both.
Absolutely. It's about recognizing the power of the mind-body connection. And then we have ancient systems like Ayurvedic medicine, which emphasizes balance in all aspects of life.
Using natural methods to restore harmony. It's fascinating how these ancient practices are gaining new relevance in our modern world. Have you ever explored any alternative healing methods yourself?
I have. I find acupuncture incredibly helpful for managing stress. It's amazing how something as simple as needles can have such a profound effect.
That's incredible. It really speaks to the power of these techniques.
Yeah.
Now let's shift gears to mental health. It's encouraging to see the stigma fading, allowing more open discussions.
It's truly remarkable. Mental health is finally getting the attention it deserves, and people are becoming more comfortable seeking help.
It's like we're realizing that mental well-being is just as important as physical health.
Exactly. And to navigate this landscape effectively, understanding key terms is helpful.
Let's break them down. I've been hearing attachment style a lot lately. What exactly does that refer to?
Attachment style basically describes how we behave in relationships, heavily influenced by our early childhood experiences. It sheds light on our patterns of connection and how we respond to others emotionally.
So understanding our attachment style can help us see recurring patterns in our relationships.
Precisely. It's a powerful tool for self-awareness. And speaking of healthy relationships, let's talk about boundaries.
Boundaries are essential for protecting our energy and setting healthy limits. It's about knowing our needs and communicating them effectively.
Couldn't agree more. Creating clear expectations and respecting each other's space, both physically and emotionally. And another crucial term is emotional intelligence, or EQ.
EQ seems to be everywhere these days. What does it actually mean?
Emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage our own emotions and recognize and empathize with those of others, being attuned to the emotional landscape within ourselves and in our interactions.
So someone with high EQ can sense when a friend is feeling down. Even if they don't say it out loud, they can offer support.
Exactly. They have this emotional acuity that helps them navigate social situations with grace and empathy. This brings us to the concept of emotional labor, which is closely tied to EQ.
I've heard the term, but I'm not sure I fully get it. What does emotional labor involve?
Emotional labor is the effort we put into managing our emotions, often in professional settings. Think of customer service reps staying calm even when dealing with difficult customers.
It's like putting on a brave face, even when you're feeling stressed.
Precisely. The unseen work we do to regulate our emotions and present a certain image, it can be quite draining.
That makes sense. It's definitely important to be mindful of emotional labor and find ways to recharge. Now, this next term is intriguing, the inner child.
Ah, yes, the inner child. This concept encourages us to connect with our childhood experiences, both good and bad, to understand our present behaviors and patterns.
So it's like acknowledging that a part of us still carries the joys and hurts from our childhood.
Exactly. By connecting with our inner child, we can offer healing and compassion to those past experiences. It's a powerful tool for growth and transformation.
That's a beautiful way to put it. Now let's talk about a more challenging topic. Trauma. It's heavy, but important to address.
Trauma refers to deeply distressing experiences that overwhelm our coping mechanisms, leaving a lasting impact on our emotional well-being. It can show up in many ways, from flashbacks and nightmares to anxiety and depression.
So it's not just about the event itself, but about the long-term effects on our mental health.
Precisely. Understanding trauma is essential for fostering empathy and support for those who have experienced it, creating a safe space for healing.
Absolutely. And lastly, let's touch on triggers. What are they and how can we manage them?
Triggers are things that evoke strong emotional reactions, often linked to past trauma. It can be anything from a specific smell to a phrase that brings back memories.
It's like a sudden surge of emotion that can be difficult to control.
Exactly. Recognizing our triggers is the first step in managing them effectively. It allows us to develop coping mechanisms and strategies.
It's empowering to realize we can regain control even in the face of triggers. It's about reclaiming our power and building resilience.
Absolutely. A testament to the human spirit's ability to heal and grow, even after adversity.
It really is inspiring. Now, thinking about everything we've discussed, how do mental and physical health influence each other? Any real-life examples come to mind?
They're completely intertwined. Chronic stress, for example, can weaken the immune system, making you more susceptible to illness. And living with a chronic illness can impact your mental well-being. It goes both ways.
A powerful reminder that we need to approach health holistically, mind and body.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our next topic, where these connections are even more apparent: health technology.
It's incredible how technology is changing healthcare.
From wearable tech to AI-powered chatbots, the possibilities seem endless.
It feels like we're stepping into the future.
You're right. And it's empowering people to be more proactive about their health.
Let's start with biohacking. What does it actually entail?
Biohacking is all about using technology and lifestyle changes to optimize your health and performance, taking control of your biology.
So, using apps to track sleep and diet to boost energy levels would be considered biohacking.
Exactly. Experimenting to find what works best for you.
No, chatbots are popping up everywhere, even in mental health.
Yes. They can simulate conversations and offer support for various mental health concerns. Imagine using a chatbot to guide you through calming exercises when you're feeling anxious.
Wow, that's amazing. It seems like an easily accessible tool for managing stress.
It is. But it's important to remember that chatbots aren't a replacement for therapy.
Right, they're a tool, not a solution. Now, this one resonates with me. Digital detox. Disconnecting can feel almost impossible in today's world.
I agree. Digital detox is about intentionally disconnecting from devices to reduce stress and prioritize real-world connections.
Like putting your phone away for a whole weekend.
Exactly. Giving your mind a break and being present in the moment.
Now, this one sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie. The virtual ward.
It does sound futuristic, but it's becoming a reality. A virtual ward allows patients to receive care from home using digital tools that transmit health data to their providers.
So it's like having a doctor monitoring you remotely.
Exactly. Especially beneficial for those needing extra support, like older adults.
And we can't forget wearable tech. It's everywhere these days.
Wearable technology, like fitness trackers, has revolutionized how we monitor our health. They provide valuable insights into things like our heart rate and sleep patterns.
It's like having a personal health coach right on your wrist.
You could say that.
Yeah.
And they can even give you personalized reminders. Imagine your smartwatch reminding you to stand up after sitting too long.
It's amazing how technology can make us more mindful of our daily habits.
Empowering us to make small changes that can have a big impact on our health.
Thinking about all these advancements in wearable technology and AI, how do you see them shaping healthcare in the future?
I believe we're moving towards a more personalized and preventative approach. Imagine AI algorithms analyzing your health data and giving you customized advice for diet and exercise.
Like having a virtual health assistant that knows you better than you know yourself.
Precisely. And I think we'll see even more integration of technology into our lives, making it easier to manage our health.
It's a really exciting time to be alive, especially in the world of health.
Absolutely. Speaking of living a long and healthy life, let's move to our final topic: aging and diet.
We all want to age gracefully, enjoying those later years to the fullest.
Of course. And thankfully, we have more control over the process than we might think. Our lifestyle choices, especially our diet, play a huge role in how we age.
So let's dig into the research on longevity. What are some of the keys to a longer, healthier life?
Well, one condition that often comes up in discussions about aging is Alzheimer's disease, which causes cognitive decline.
It's a devastating disease that impacts so many families.
It is. While there's no cure yet, research suggests that staying mentally and physically active can help lower the risk.
So keeping those brain cells firing and staying active is key.
Absolutely. Now, have you heard of the concept of biological age?
I have. It's different from our chronological age, right?
Exactly. Biological age reflects the health of your cells and tissues, which can be different from your age in years. Someone might be 60 chronologically, but have the biological age of a 45-year-old due to their healthy habits.
So you can be younger on the inside than you are on the outside.
Precisely. And that's where lifestyle choices really make a difference.
I've also heard about these blue zones, where people live incredibly long lives. What's their secret?
Blue zones are regions around the world where people consistently live longer and healthier, often exceeding 90 years old.
Wow, that's amazing. What do they have in common?
They tend to prioritize plant-based diets, regular activity, strong social connections, and a sense of purpose. They also have lower rates of smoking and stress.
So it's a holistic way of life, not just focusing on one aspect of health.
Exactly. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports longevity.
And our environment plays a role too, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Things like air quality and access to green spaces can impact our health. For example, high pollution can negatively affect our breathing.
It's a reminder that our health is connected to our surroundings. We can't ignore the impact of our environment.
Now, another topic that's important to talk about, especially when it comes to aging, is menopause.
It's a natural transition for women, but it often comes with various symptoms.
Yes, menopause is the end of a woman's reproductive years and often involves hormonal fluctuations that can cause things like hot flashes and mood swings.
It's definitely important to have open conversations about this and provide support and resources for women going through it.
Absolutely. And speaking of reproductive health, it's a vital part of well-being throughout our lives.
Access to accurate information and good health care is essential for everyone, regardless of age or gender.
Precisely. Empowering people to make informed choices about their reproductive health.
Now, I'm intrigued by this idea of preventing decline as we age. What steps can we take?
Preventing decline is about taking action to slow down or even stop the deterioration of physical and mental health.
So it's about being proactive and taking charge of our health destiny.
Exactly. A balanced diet and regular exercise are two of the most powerful tools we have.
The cornerstones of a healthy life at any age.
And with that, let's focus on nutrition and its role in healthy aging.
Food is medicine, as they say.
It really is. And the more we learn about the connection between diet and health, the more we understand how powerful food can be.
Let's break down some key dietary concepts, starting with autoimmune diseases.
Autoimmune diseases occur when the immune system mistakenly attacks healthy cells in the body.
Like lupus and rheumatoid arthritis.
Yes. And while the exact causes are complex, changes in diet and lifestyle are thought to play a part.
So what we eat can either trigger or reduce inflammation.
Exactly. And that brings us to anti-inflammatory foods.
Foods that help soothe inflammation. What are some examples?
Think colorful fruits and veggies, fatty fish, and spices like turmeric and ginger. They're full of antioxidants and compounds that reduce inflammation.
So eating a rainbow of nutrient-rich foods is a good strategy.
Absolutely. Now, have you ever heard of an elimination diet?
It sounds interesting. What's the idea behind eliminating certain foods?
An elimination diet involves temporarily removing specific foods to see if they trigger any reactions. For example, someone with stomach issues might try cutting out dairy.
Like a detective approach to pinpointing food sensitivities.
Exactly. It can help uncover intolerances that contribute to inflammation.
Now, heal your gut is a phrase I've been seeing everywhere. What does that mean and why is it important?
Heal your gut refers to improving the health of your digestive system, which is home to trillions of bacteria called the gut microbiome.
So we have a whole ecosystem living inside of us.
We do. And it plays a crucial role in our health, affecting everything from immunity to mental clarity.
It's incredible how much influence our gut has on us.
It really is. And when it's out of balance, it can lead to all sorts of problems, from digestive issues to mental health concerns.
So how do we heal our gut and restore that balance?
One of the best ways is through diet. We need to nourish the good bacteria in our gut with the foods they thrive on.
Like what kinds of food?
Fiber is key. So foods like fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains are crucial.
So those high-fiber foods we already know are good for us are also good for our gut.
Exactly. And fermented foods like yogurt and sauerkraut are rich in probiotics, live bacteria that can help recalculate our gut.
Fermented foods are everywhere these days.
And for good reason. They're a great way to boost our gut health. Prebiotics are another piece of the puzzle.
I always get those confused with probiotics. What's the difference?
Probiotics are the actual bacteria, while prebiotics are types of fiber that feed the good bacteria. Think of them as fertilizer for the gut microbiome.
So prebiotics are like food for the probiotics.
Exactly. You can find prebiotics in foods like bananas, onions, and garlic.
So a variety of plant-based foods nourishes both our bodies and our good gut bacteria.
Precisely. And a healthy gut microbiome is essential for overall well-being.
Now, I've heard a lot about nootropics lately. Are they just fancy brain pills?
Nootropics are substances believed to boost cognitive function, things like memory, focus, and creativity.
So, like giving your brain a boost.
You could say that. Some are natural, found in foods and herbs, while others are synthetic.
What are some natural nootropics that we might already be consuming?
Caffeine is a well-known one. It's a stimulant that can increase alertness.
No wonder I can't function without my morning coffee.
And L-theanine, found in green tea, is known for its calming effects. It's often combined with caffeine to create a state of relaxed focus.
Interesting. So finding the right balance.
Exactly. And those omega-3 fatty acids we talked about earlier are also considered nootropics.
They seem to be good for everything.
They're incredibly beneficial for brain health. And then there are synthetic nootropics designed to enhance cognitive performance.
So more like supplements.
Yes, you could say that. But it's important to be cautious with nootropics because we don't know all the long-term effects yet.
Good advice. Always best to talk to your doctor before trying new supplements.
Definitely. They can help you determine if it's right for you.
It's amazing how much control we have over our health nowadays. There's so much information and tools available to help us optimize our well-being.
It truly is an exciting time for health and wellness. And remember, what works for one person might not work for another. It's a personal journey.
Finding what works best for you and your individual needs.
Exactly. And being patient with yourself. Health is not a destination, it's a lifelong process.
It's about enjoying the journey and celebrating the small wins.
Absolutely. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. There's lots of information and support available to help you along the way.
It's so inspiring to see how the health and wellness space is constantly growing and evolving.
We have more tools and knowledge than ever before to create a life of vitality and well-being.
And on that note of empowerment, let's take a break. We'll be back soon to continue our deep dive into the fascinating world of health and wellness.
See you soon. It really is amazing how intertwined our gut health is with our overall well-being.
It is. The research coming out about the gut microbiome is so fascinating. We're just beginning to understand its true impact.
It's a whole new frontier in science. We're learning about the gut's connection to everything from our immune system to our mental clarity.
It's mind-boggling to think there's this complex ecosystem working inside us all the time, and it's affecting us in such profound ways.
It speaks to the interconnectedness of our bodies and the importance of a holistic approach to health. We can't just focus on one area and ignore the rest.
That's a great point. And speaking of holistic health, we've covered a lot of ground today, from alternative medicine to mental well-being, and now this incredible world of health technology.
It's been quite a journey. We've touched on some of the most exciting trends and insights shaping the future of health and wellness.
With all these innovations and discoveries, what do you think is the most important takeaway for our listeners?
I think the most empowering message is that we have more control over our health than ever before. We're not just passive bystanders, we're active participants in our well-being.
We have the power to take charge and make informed choices that support our health goals.
Exactly. We have access to so much knowledge and so many tools that can help us live healthier, happier lives. It's about finding what works best for each of us and making choices that align with our values.
And it's about recognizing that health is more than just our physical body. It's also about our mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being.
Absolutely. True well-being means nurturing all aspects of ourselves. It's about finding balance and harmony in our lives and incorporating practices that support our overall health.
Creating a lifestyle that nourishes us from the inside out. It's not about quick fixes. It's about long-term solutions.
And remember, even small, consistent changes can make a huge difference. It's not about perfection. It's about making progress one step at a time.
So true. Whether it's adding more fruits and veggies to our diet, finding time for mindfulness practices, or simply making sure we get enough sleep, those small actions add up over time.
It's all about creating healthy habits that we can sustain for the long haul.
I love that. Now, something that's always fascinated me is the concept of longevity. Those individuals who seem to defy aging and live vibrant lives well into their later years.
It's incredible, isn't it? While our genes play a role, our lifestyle choices seem to have an even bigger impact on how long and how well we live.
I've always been curious about those blue zones around the world where people consistently live longer than the average population. What's their secret?
Researchers have studied these blue zones extensively, and it turns out they have some common characteristics that contribute to their longevity.
I'm all ears. Tell me everything. What sets these communities apart?
Well, one of the most noticeable things is their diet. They eat mostly plant-based foods, lots of fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains, and very few processed foods.
It makes perfect sense that a diet full of nutrients and antioxidants would be beneficial for healthy aging.
Right. And they're also very active. It's not necessarily about going to the gym, but they incorporate movement into their daily lives, walking, gardening, doing physical tasks.
It sounds like movement is just part of their lifestyle, not something they have to force themselves to do.
Exactly. And another key factor is their strong social connections. They have close relationships with their families and communities and spend quality time together.
It's amazing how much our social connections can affect our health. We're social creatures by nature, and that sense of belonging is so important for our well-being.
Absolutely. And the people in these blue zones also have a strong sense of purpose. They feel like their lives have meaning, whether it's through their work, family, or community involvement.
They have something that gets them up in the morning, a reason to live a full life.
Yes. And maybe most importantly, they've mastered the art of stress management. They have routines and practices that help them cope with the challenges of life, meditation, time in nature, or just relaxing and unwinding.
That's so important. Stress can really take a toll on our physical and mental health, especially over time.
It really can. And these blue zone communities have found ways to manage stress in healthy, sustainable ways.
It's inspiring to see how lifestyle choices can contribute to a longer, healthier life. It makes me feel hopeful that we can all have some influence over how we age.
I agree. It's empowering to know that we're not just at the mercy of our genes. We can make choices that support our health destiny.
Now I want to switch gears a bit and talk more about nutrition and its role in healthy aging.
There's a reason they say food is medicine. The more we learn about the connection between diet and health, the more we realize just how powerful food is.
Let's break down some key concepts, starting with autoimmune diseases. What exactly are they?
Autoimmune diseases happen when the immune system, which is supposed to protect us, mistakenly attacks the body's own cells and tissues.
So it's like our own body turning against us.
Exactly. And while we don't fully understand what causes them, there's growing evidence that diet and lifestyle play a significant role.
It sounds like what we eat can either contribute to or help reduce inflammation in the body, which in turn affects these autoimmune conditions.
That's right. And that leads us to anti-inflammatory foods, foods that help reduce inflammation throughout the body.
What are some examples of foods that fight inflammation?
Think bright, colorful fruits and vegetables, berries, leafy greens, tomatoes. They're packed with antioxidants and other compounds that help reduce inflammation.
So eating the rainbow is more than just a catchy phrase. It's a good strategy for keeping inflammation in check.
Exactly. And fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which also have anti-inflammatory properties.
I try to eat fish at least twice a week.
That's great. And don't forget about spices like turmeric and ginger. They've been used for their anti-inflammatory benefits for centuries.
Nature really does provide us with an incredible toolkit for supporting our health.
It absolutely does. And another approach that's gaining popularity is the elimination diet. Have you heard of that?
I have, but I'm not sure I understand exactly what it involves. Can you explain it?
Sure. The elimination diet is about temporarily removing specific foods from your diet, usually for a few weeks, and then reintroducing them one by one to see if any of them trigger symptoms.
It sounds like a way to play detective with your diet and identify potential culprits.
Exactly. It can help pinpoint food sensitivities or intolerances that might be causing digestive problems, inflammation, or other issues.
So it's about paying close attention to your body's signals and seeing how it reacts to different foods.
Precisely. And it's important to work with a qualified health professional to make sure you're doing it safely and still meeting your nutritional needs.
That makes sense. Now, I keep hearing this phrase, heal your gut. What does that mean, and why is gut health so important?
Heal your gut is all about improving the health of your digestive system, specifically the trillions of bacteria that live in your gut, known as the gut microbiome.
It's amazing to think that we have this whole world of bacteria living inside us.
It is, and this gut microbiome plays a huge role in our overall health. It affects everything from digestion and nutrient absorption to immune function, mental clarity, and even mood.
It really is amazing how much influence our gut has on our well-being.
Right. And when our gut is out of balance, it can lead to all sorts of problems: digestive issues, skin conditions, autoimmune disorders, even mental health concerns.
So how do we heal our gut and restore that balance?
Diet plays a major role. We need to feed the beneficial bacteria in our gut with the foods they need to thrive.
What are some gut-friendly foods that we should be eating?
Fiber is essential, so fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains are your best friends.
It seems like those high-fiber foods that are good for us in general are also good for our gut bacteria.
Exactly. And fermented foods like yogurt, sauerkraut, and kimchi are rich in probiotics, which are live beneficial bacteria.
Fermented foods are definitely trendy right now. I see them everywhere.
And for good reason. They're a tasty and easy way to get more probiotics into your diet. And we can't forget about prebiotics.
I always mix up prebiotics and probiotics. What's the difference again?
Probiotics are the actual live bacteria, while prebiotics are types of fiber that feed the good bacteria in our gut. They're like fertilizer for our gut microbiome.
So prebiotics are food for probiotics. I think I finally get it. Where can we find prebiotics?
You can find them in lots of plant-based foods like bananas, onions, garlic, asparagus, and leeks.
So by eating a variety of fruits, vegetables, and other plant-based foods, we're not only nourishing ourselves, but also taking care of those beneficial bacteria in our gut.
Exactly. And a healthy gut microbiome is a key part of overall health and well-being. It really is fascinating.
Now, let's talk about something that's been getting a lot of attention lately. Nootropics. Are they just fancy brain pills?
Nootropics are substances that are believed to enhance cognitive function, things like memory, focus, creativity, and motivation.
So it's like brain food for the modern age.
You could say that. Some nootropics are natural compounds found in foods and herbs, while others are synthetically produced.
What are some examples of natural nootropics that we might already be familiar with?
Well, caffeine is a classic nootropic. It's a stimulant that can help you feel more alert and focused.
That explains my coffee addiction.
And L-theanine, an amino acid found in green tea, has calming effects. It's often combined with caffeine to promote relaxed focus.
That's an interesting combination. So it's about finding the right balance between stimulation and relaxation.
Exactly. And remember those omega-3 fatty acids we talked about earlier? Those are also considered nootropics. They're essential for brain health and function.
Omega-3s really seem to be a nutritional powerhouse. They're good for so many things.
They are. And then there are synthetic nootropics, which are designed specifically to enhance cognitive performance.
So those are more like brain-boosting supplements.
You could think of them that way, but it's always wise to be cautious with supplements. We don't fully understand the long-term effects of some nootropics.
It's always a good idea to talk to a doctor before starting any new supplements.
I definitely agree. They can help you decide if nootropics are right for you and make sure you're using them safely.
This conversation has been incredibly eye-opening. I feel like I have so much new information and so many tools to help me navigate my health journey.
It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you. And remember, health is a personal journey. What works for one person might not work for another.
It's about finding what works best for each individual, listening to your body, and making choices that support your unique needs and goals.
Exactly. And remember to be patient with yourself. Health isn't a destination. It's a lifelong process of learning and growing.
It's about enjoying the journey, celebrating small wins, and continuously striving to improve our well-being.
And you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of people out there who are passionate about health and wellness. There's a wealth of information and support available.
It's really inspiring to see how much the health and wellness space is evolving. We have more resources than ever before to help us live healthier, happier lives.
It truly is an exciting time. As we continue to learn and grow, we can empower ourselves to live more fulfilling lives. And as we continue to learn and grow, we can empower ourselves to live healthier, happier, and more fulfilling lives.
That's what it's all about. You know, it's incredible how much we're learning about the human body and just how complex and interconnected everything is.
It really is. It's a testament to the resilience of our species.
Speaking of resilience, it's always so inspiring to see people who seem to age gracefully. You know, those individuals who just radiate vitality and well-being well into their later years.
It is remarkable. Some people seem to defy the typical aging process and maintain their physical and mental sharpness as they get older.
I've heard about this idea of biological age. It suggests that our chronological age, the number of years we've been alive, doesn't necessarily reflect the true age of our cells and tissues.
That's right. Biological age takes into account all sorts of factors like lifestyle choices, genetics, and environmental exposures. It's a more comprehensive measure of aging that goes beyond just counting birthdays.
So it's like you could be chronologically older but biologically younger than someone else the same age.
Absolutely. And that's where those lifestyle choices we were talking about earlier really come into play. The things we do every day, what we eat, how we move, how we manage stress, they can all impact our biological age.
It's empowering to think that we have some control over how we age.
It really is. It highlights the importance of making choices that support our long-term health and well-being.
Now, one thing I find absolutely fascinating is the concept of blue zones. These are those regions around the world where people consistently live much longer and healthier lives than the average person.
Blue zones are incredible. Researchers and health enthusiasts have been studying them for years, hoping to unlock the secrets of longevity.
So what have they discovered? What are some of the common characteristics of these blue zones?
Well, one of the most prominent things they all share is a strong emphasis on plant-based diets. People in blue zones eat a lot of fruits, vegetables, legumes, and whole grains, and very few processed foods.
It makes sense that a diet rich in nutrients and antioxidants would contribute to healthy aging.
Absolutely. And they're also very active, not necessarily in the sense of going to the gym, but they incorporate physical activity into their daily lives, walking, gardening, doing chores.
It sounds like movement is just woven into the fabric of their day.
Exactly. They also value social connections. They have close-knit families and communities and spend a lot of time interacting with each other.
We've talked about this before, but it's amazing how important our social connections are for our overall health. We're social creatures, and that sense of belonging is so essential.
It is. Another common thread in blue zones is a strong sense of purpose. People feel like their lives have meaning, whether it's through their work, family, or community involvement.
They have something that drives them, a reason to get up every morning and embrace life.
Right. And last but not least, they're really good at managing stress. They have rituals and practices that help them cope with life's challenges, things like meditation, spending time in nature, or just taking time to relax.
That's so important. We all know how much stress can affect us, both physically and mentally.
It's crucial to find healthy ways to manage stress, and it seems like the people in these blue zones have figured that out.
It's really inspiring to see how lifestyle choices can impact longevity. It gives us hope that we can all take steps to live longer, healthier lives.
I think so too. It's empowering to know that we have more control over our health than we might realize.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up our deep dive into health and wellness. This has been such a fascinating conversation, and I've learned so much.
It's been a pleasure sharing this information with you.
I feel inspired and motivated to take what I've learned and apply it to my own life.
That's wonderful to hear. Remember, it's a journey, not a race. Be kind to yourself, embrace the process, and never stop learning.
And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us on this episode of English Podcast 2.0. We hope you found it informative and inspiring.
We'll see you next time.